Linda O'Brien. I did not know that. That is hilarious, Linda. I guess that explains the red hair. All right, Kathy, welcome in. All right, so let's get going. It's 4 minutes past, which I'm going to try to move that up closer to actual start time. I'm going to try to open this room up a few minutes earlier than I have been and try to get going a little closer to 1 o'clock. We won't ever start exactly at one, just so you guys know. It takes people a while to get logged in and settled in. So just so you know, 1 o'clock is my goal time, and then probably 104, 105 was when we're really started. Welcome. Let me give you a quick tour of where I am. I am actually in my official ukulele studio, which is in beautiful downtown Denver in lovely historic Grant Avenue Theater. And there's nothing beautiful or nothing lovely about this place. It is an old, that's not true. There's one thing that's very lovely about this place. It's an old church that has a community center on the back. And the church kind of went out of business-ish, and so they don't really use anything. It's this amazing, gorgeous sanctuary, which is on the other side of this wall, and the pipe organ backs up and is actually attached to the back of this wall. So if the pipe organist shows up and starts practicing, it'll get really interesting real fast. And so I'm actually on the community center side, which is closed, locked down. Nobody's allowed in the building except they allow me to come in. There's a painter on the second floor that comes in, and the custodian. He's our facilities manager. I should call him Don. He's awesome. And then the manager, Helen, who's here pretty regularly. So we're the four people allowed in the building. I guess I'm special because I'm a very positive soul. So they let me in. But it's not open for business yet. So those of you guys in Denver and around the area that want to come down and catch up on ukulele stuff still can't do that. But at least in the building, the Wi-Fi is right below me, so it's working pretty solid. I got a pretty good stream here. So hopefully we'll hold on through the whole thing. And on the wall that you can't see, I have all the soprano ukuleles, about, I don't know, 60 or 70 of them. And then back there is, this tower of stuff with a bird. It has a duck on the top right there. I keep baritone ukulele. I know I can't figure out how to move my hands. The baritone ukuleles are up here. I had a run on baritones, so I got 2 slots that are available for new baritones. I'll be bringing those in. I keep tenor ukuleles back there, plus I have a whole mess in the back storage room, so tenors are what we sell mostly. Up here, I've got concert size ukuleles. Probably carry about 200 ukuleles at any given time, and mostly Mahalo, Cordoba, and Ohana are my main lines. I carry plenty of used stuff as well. Back along here is a bunch, ukulele accessories that I have. Those 2 things right there are chairs that are normally sitting right over here, but I had to move them because I was running all these wires and stuff today. So tomorrow it should look a little prettier. And then as Elizabeth mentioned, these are my plants, right? And I have goofy stuff I put on this shelf for a while till I end up throwing them away. So over here, and in the complex here, I have a workshop where I do all of the repairs and restringing and all that stuff, and that's the back shop. I'll keep all cases and all that stuff in that room. And then I have another room which I had just got, and I was so excited because we were going to just use that for lessons. But now nobody can come into the building, so I'm paying for a room to just sit there and look pretty. So my niece is helping me design that room and make it all nice. So that's what's going on here. You're welcome. That's the tour of the studio. That's what we're doing here. I am really here to help you get started on learning Danny Boy and the key of C major arpeggio today. So for those of you who are new, probably come from a chord tradition, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It turns out that's a pretty handy way to play ukulele. But we're going to now switch over to reading tablature. If you have never read tablature before, today's probably going to be a stretch. You may need to go back and look at some of the previous videos from the last couple of weeks, just the first half of them. About the introductory stuff. Really what you want to do is go all the way to Frere Jacques and catch up. And on that, you go to jollyrogerukulele.com and look on the ukulele tab. And the order that I go in for the intro stuff is on there. So it's fairly easy to find out where you are. We are we're significantly through that, and we're on the key of C major. And today we're going to talk about arpeggio playing. We're going to talk about the 5 main chords that you need, that all ukulele players need to know, have to know, required to know, and then how to use your right hand in a lot smarter way than we typically do when we're just going to a strum along and we're singing and strumming and having a great time. And somebody's worried about the strum pattern. We're gonna get rid of strumming altogether, and we're gonna be working on arpeggio playing. And so um, that's what I think is the most important thing that you can do as a ukulele player is get your right hand figured out. I want saying it's the most important is probably a bit. I don't know. It's a bit of a. It's probably overstating the case, but it's pretty darn important that you get your right hand doing smarter stuff than you typically have as a strummer. And so we're going to start with. We're going to look through this piece of music. If you don't have it, jollyrogerukulele.com on the very front page is the key of C major. You need to download that and have that. Maybe just open it up in a separate window or print it out if you've got a printer. And then we're also going to cover Danny Boy today. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let me say hi to a few people. Linda's in from California. Annie's glad Cindy's here. I pick on Cindy. Cindy's my number one favorite person to pick on. Well, that's not true. Every single person I know is my number one favorite person to pick on. Didn't know I sold ukuleles. I honestly, I don't push it a lot, Minette. I do have, I do everything ukulele, everything. As it turns out, there is no money in ukulele, and so I don't make a big deal out of it. Yeah, I have lots and lots of really nice ukuleles here, but I'd sell them at such a rate as to really, it's more work than it is profit. So yeah, and that's true of your music store in your town too. Is in everybody's town, they don't push ukulele very hard because there is no money in it. There's $5 or $10 profit. It's not a business. It's not a main business thing. Let's see. I got natural lighting coming in from the window. I'm running it through my lace curtains, so I should look very misty-eyed. And let's see. Susan's here, and oh, Gritter is in from Utah. Welcome, Christy. Okay, let's make sure we know our chords. So in the key of C major, you got 5 chords. Okay, C chord. You guys remember to use your ring finger, and remember that your thumb, I don't see your thumb. If your thumb is here, you're a bad person, and I want to, and you have to change. Okay, that means so your thumb is going to be back here behind this. This is where your thumb goes. Okay, runs up and down along that. Do not do that. Don't let your kids that you're teaching do that. Okay, right here, perpendicular. That's where your thumb goes, runs up and down along the fat part. You cannot see it from the front, and it's always going to hang out wherever your middle finger is. Your thumb is hanging out right behind that. Okay, next thing, that's your C chord. Okay, next chord on here is a G chord. You got to get from C to G. So the first thought is I'm going to chase my index finger. I'm going to get my index finger right here where it goes. I'm going to add my middle finger right there where it goes, and I'm going to pop that up one string. So then now I've got a G chord on. Okay, so to get from C to G, that's all we do. Okay, next chord on here is an F chord. To get from a G chord to an F chord, again, chase your index finger here, middle finger jumps up there, and your ring finger just lifts up just a little bit. Okay, and then to get back to G chord, we're going to chase index finger, middle finger, ring finger. Okay. For those of you who are new to ukulele, you could do yourself a huge favor by just taking all those chords and lyrics pages that you got off the internet and throwing them all away, and then sitting at your couch at night going, here's a C chord, I get to G chord from here, I get to F chord doing this, I'm going to go back to C chord, I'm going to go to F chord, I'm going to go to G chord, and so on. Working on being very mindful, thoughtful, finding a place inside of your soul where your brain and your fingers connect on a granular level, and you're going to be very mindful and thoughtful of when I'm on C and I got to get to F, boom, boom, right? When I'm on F and I got to get to G, boom, 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 right? And so be slowing that whole process down, forgetting about the song and really focusing in on moving from chord to chord to chord. All right, so those are your 3 chords for the first 8 measures. Then down at measure 11, you're going to get a G7 chord, index finger here, middle finger here, ring finger here. Remember when you started ukulele, those of you guys who've been around a while, that G chord was the hard one and G7 was so much easier. The problem is they're not really interchangeable. You can, if there's a G7, you can play a G. But if there's a G chord, you can't always substitute it with the G7. So we have to learn them both. Um, G chord, G7 is so friendly because it pops up to F chord real nice, right? We like that. And then it also really pops over to the C chord real well. Okay, so that's G7. This is G. G is way harder in the beginning than G7. Okay, and then I got one other chord in this song, and it's A minor, and that one is middle finger, top string. Okay, now those are your basic chords. If you go to any Hawaiian resort. You can't go there now. The Hawaii's got a big problem on their hands. Uh, but when you can go there, you're going to go to a big fancy hotel, and there'll be all these nice people there to help you. And they will have a ukulele workshop down in the lobby at 1 o'clock. And so you go down, and they're going to teach you the C chord, the F chord, the G7 chord, and that's what they're going to teach you. And then you're going to play little, half a dozen little songs that are make you feel like you're a ukulele player. Super fun, right? So these are kind of the main chords that we start with. I don't start with them because G chord's too hard, so I do another system. But the idea is that with these main chords, you're going to be able to play a lot of music. And we're going to start with C major. Now, what we would typically do if we're strummers is la da 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 da. But you're an instrumentalist now, so I want you, instead of thinking about strumming with your thumb, I want to take these three fingers, thumb, index, middle. I want to put your thumb on the top, on top of the C string. I want your index finger underneath the E string, and I want your middle finger underneath the A string. Okay, and I want these at an angle against this, so that they're not stacked up on top of each other. So if you stack them up and you go thonk, and there's nowhere for your thumb to go. So I need you to do a little bit of an angle on them. Okay, thumb, index, and middle. That way they have a little bit of movement. Okay, and I need you to put a C chord on. Okay, we're going to do thumb, index, middle, index. Let's do that a few times. Thumb, index, middle, index, 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 thumb, index, middle, index. Now, I've been doing this a long time, so it comes pretty smoothly. When you are new, you tend to go thumb, right? And all your whole body is shaking around crazy from it. So thoughts to think about. You notice I got my index or my pinky finger planted underneath here to help hold the ukulele. So that, and now the back of my hand can't be bouncing all around, which was not ideal, right? Even if I take my pinky up, I mean, you notice very little motion on the back of my hand. Okay, so that's what we're after, is we're trying to get this nice and smooth and steady. Try to remember you're pushing down with your thumb and then up with your index and middle finger, and they're just, the knuckles are just collapsing. That's all that's really going on. Don't be thoughtful that you're not pulling away from the ukulele body. I see that once in a while. So just keep it cool. Okay, that's measure 1. Measure 2, we're going to do the exact same thing, only we're going to hold that G chord. So grab yourself a G chord, and let's do that for a few times. Okay, so thumb, index, middle, index. Ready? Play. Thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle. Keep going. Thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle. And then slow it down. Thumb, index, middle, index. Okay. Measure 3, you're going to do the same pattern, but you're going to have an F chord on. Ready? Play. Thumb, index, middle, index. Keep it going for a little while. Okay, there we go. Just beautiful. And then in measure 4, we're going to go back to a G chord. Just do that for a little bit. Okay. Now, what's different than the way we usually play ukulele is that you're just doing your regular chords, right? You've done them a gajillion times. If you've been playing for 6 months or more, you've done these chords a gajillion times, right? But what you've never, maybe never, rarely, less often, instead you usually strum, right? And so now we're going to stop strumming and we're going to start plucking. The reason it's important is that if you want to be an instrumental ukulele player, you're going to have to play individual notes. And in order to play individual notes, you got to get this right hand where it is real comfortable with plucking. And so that's why these arpeggio patterns are super helpful. The brief advertisement, I have 30 of these on the website. It's on the teacher tab and it's called the Jumping Flea Arpeggiator. You can download all 30 with one click, and you can download all 30 of the sound files with one click. They're in your computer. You own them forever. It's free. And it is, I'm telling you, I'm promising you, if you want to be a high level player, you need to go all the way through that book with the mindfulness and thoughtfulness that you want to play every single key, every single chord, in every single position, everywhere on the fretboard. That's your mindset. I want to master ukulele. That's the book you're going to do it with. There is nothing else out there. There are some other arpeggio books that some of the other teachers have put out, and I've seen a few of them. Okay. And but mine's free. It's the best. It's wonderful. You should go get it, and you will be a fine high-level ukulele player if you get that. And you mindfully go through it. Don't just go through and try to get to the end of it and think that you're going to, go up and then push Jake off the stage. What you're really doing is trying to make yourself get your mindset and your body and your heart and all this stuff in the correct location. And that's what that book will help you do. Okay. From the top of the piece of music, we're going to play all the way through measure 8. Okay, just the first 8. You're going to play C twice, G twice, F twice, G twice, and then repeat that whole process. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. O, G chord. F chord. Back to G chord. C chord. G chord. F chord. G chord. Okay. On the sheet music, you will have noticed measure 8. I don't have you go back to that index finger because we needed a full quarter note to get to the next idea. At the end of measure 8, you'll see a double bar. And generally speaking, we don't as consistently as arrangers put those on the way we should, but in this case it is correct. Okay, so that double bar, basically it sends you a message, hey, you're done with that section, we got a new section coming up. And so that double bar sends you a notion, hey, I got to start thinking a little differently. Okay, now the pattern changes. Okay, and it says 003. Now most of the time when you're playing tablature, that means play that. But in this book, and Carol, I see your note, it's the Jumping Flea Arpeggiator, and it's on the teacher tab of the Jolly Roger ukulele site, and you can download it. It's just sitting there free. Okay, you don't have to be a teacher to have it. All right. Most of the time we do 003, we're going to strum it with our thumb. But in this case, in my book, I want you to pluck it. Okay, so again, thumb, index, middle, and just pluck all three at once. Okay, just like that. And then your next note is 003 on strings 3, 2, and 1. So 0, 0, 3. Okay, so that's measure 9. Measure 10. Put your full F chord on. I know the tablature says 0, 1, 0, and you're like, I don't need to put this on. Your ukulele will sound better if you put the full chord on. So put an F chord on. That's what it tells you to do. And then you're just going to play the same exact pattern as measure 9. You're going to pluck everybody. Plunk. Then you're going to go thumb, index, middle. Then you're going to go to G7. Plunk, thumb, index, middle. You're going to do it again. Plunk, thumb, index, middle. Now you're going to go to a C chord. And then now you're going to do a different pattern, right? Middle, index, thumb. Go to your A minor. Plunk, middle, index, thumb. Put a full F chord on. Plunk, middle, index, thumb. Measure 16, G7. Plunk, middle, index, thumb. Measure 17, got a double bar. It's telling us, hey, we got to make some changes here. Go to your C chord. Now we're going to double plunk and then hit thumb, index. Okay, ready? Play. Plunk, plunk, thumb, index, A minor, plunk, plunk, thumb, index, F chord, plunk, plunk, thumb, index 20, plunk, plunk, thumb, index. Okay, at the end of measure 20, there's a repeat sign. Okay, it's a double bar with the two little dots on it that says, hey, we got to repeat. And so you look back through the music for the forward repeat. There isn't one. That means you go all the way back to the top of the paper. Okay, so we're going to play the whole page as if we're playing it the second time. Okay, if you came down for a private lesson and we were hanging out, and I says, hey, let's play the key of C major as a warm up, and you went to the measure 20, you're supposed to look at me and say, do you want me to do the repeat or not? And if you are playing well, I say, nah, let's go on. And if you botch the first page pretty good, I'll say, yeah, let's go ahead and do that again. And in your home practice, do the repeats. Do them. The reason is that when you skip repeats and you start ignoring things in the music, then you pretty much start ignoring other things in the music. And so as a in your personal life, you want to do everything on the music as best you can, exactly what it says, and then bring your own sense of personality and your own sense of beauty and add stuff to it. Try not to subtract from sheet music. Always try to be adding stuff to it. And then if you are working in a group, then you all agree. Are we going to do the repeat or not? And if you're working with a teacher, most of the time the teachers are going to say, don't do the repeats. I'm sick of hearing you play it the first time. I certainly don't want to live through it again. So just be thoughtful when you see a repeat. Are we doing the repeat? We're not doing the repeat. You on your own, sitting at your house, you should do repeats. Okay, it's just good practice. Okay, let's play the whole page as if it is the second time. Okay, from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Immediately start on page 2. We're going to stop just a moment to pat ourselves on the back. If that went well for you, speed it up. If that went horribly for you, slow it down. There is no time limit on music, right? Take your time, slow it down, go through. And if it mostly went well, but you had a couple of crashes, go back and work on just those sections where you crashed. Okay, let's go on to page 2. Well, it just takes a jiffy to finish up page 2. Notice at page 2, measure 21, you've got the little wiggly next to the tablature, right? What that means is I want a glissando. Okay, so a thumb down, real big, bold, beautiful. I want to hear every string. Okay, it also says right above that written, which means slow down. Okay. There's 2 different types of slowing down. One where you slow down continuously and one where you just slow down a little bit. Okay. I think that I have the wrong one there, but I don't know. So just slow down just a little bit. Don't keep slowing down. Just keep going. All right. Now, those of you with music degrees, tell me if it's written or retardando. I think retardando is the one that keeps slowing down, and the ritenuto means to slow down just a little bit, but then keep it steady. I think. All right, what we're going to do there, we're going to now, from measures 21 through 28, we're going to switch to thumb strums to play through this section. Okay? The key here is I want you to be able to do thumb strum and claw plucking in the same piece of music and get comfortable going from one to the other and back. That's what we're working on. Okay. Well, we're working on lots of stuff, but that's one of them. All right. So let's go grab measure 21. We're going to just go through it nice and slow, and then we'll play through this real quick, and then we'll go back through and play it again. Okay. So from the 21, 1, 2, ready, play. Strum 3, pinky 5, 3, G chord and a strum. Hit the second string. Go grab an F chord. Strum 1, add your ring finger. G7. Okay, couple of zeros. O, 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 1, G chord, 3 strings. O, F chord, ring, G7. Make sure those are worth 4 beats. Okay. Once you get to 29, you see the double bar. It says a tempo. That means you go back to playing a little bit faster. And then what I need you to do is then switch back to your claw and play exactly like we played on page 1. Okay. So that's what we're working on here. You ready to play the whole page? This is your big moment. This is wrapping it up. Okay. Let me make sure nobody's dying over here. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Danny Boy with a mask. Okay. All right. So, by the way, Mike, I gave a tour of the studio prior to you logging in. So go back today and listen to that and told everybody what's going on back here. All right. From measure 21, let's play it all the way from top to bottom. And again, if you're able to get it mostly the way I'm playing it, then go back and play it faster. And if you're not playing it well at all, the whole thing, go and slow it way down. And then if you have a couple of crashes, you just work on those points. Okay. From measure 21, I'm going to play it straight to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's what we're working on. At this level, when you're a newer player and you're working at this level, you have officially crossed over into some crazy land where you're not going to be able to come back from. That's good stuff right there. That's really high level thinking. What do you do with something like this? What do you do with they're called etudes, which means study. If you're not in academia, so if you're in academia, you call it an etude. If you are a real human being, you say, I don't know, it's these weird things that Gary makes us play. Etudes are designed to warm you up, to get you thinking about the technical side of music, to really get you focused in on the good stuff. Some of you are old enough to remember they used to make ice skaters do a figure 8, and they had to do it perfectly to get into the finals. And of course, all of the good skaters got knocked out because only the technical skaters could survive the figure 8. That's an etude. That's what we're talking about. Is these things. Now, should you get good at this song? No, you should not get good at this song. You should get good at the skill set behind this song. And so if that means playing this song, then do it. I wrote 30 of them not on accident. There's 30 of them in every single key because I want you to get all of the possible left and right patterns together so that you can just then be the master of ukulele. And the book's free. Go download it. Start on play. When you warm up, when you sit down to do your ukulele practice, warm up with an etude. Start with one of these arpeggios. They will warm your hands up real nice, and then go on to the hard stuff you're working on. And then when you're done practicing, you play a couple of songs you just like to play, right? Over the Rainbow, right? Do whatever. I don't know what you like to play, but the idea is to get you warmed up, get you thinking musically, get all of the tools set in place. That's what these arpeggios are really good for. And so I hope that you find it helpful. You should know that I get emails from all over planet Earth about that stupid book, and they're invariably super complimentary, and they're almost always from more advanced players who are like, I have been looking for something like this all over. I can't believe you have it just laying out there for free. Um, it's players who understand that if you took piano lessons and they made you do your scales, that's what this is about. If you are a guitar player and you had to do your scales, this is what this is about, right? Ukulele, we don't do scales because there's just not enough scale here to make it really interesting. But arpeggio picking and that sort of stuff is very important, and certainly on classical guitar, they run from all of the great masters. They were given arpeggios to practice on, and so it's not it is something that can be very helpful for you. All right, and plus, I'm just getting rich off of giving that book away, so I want more of you to get it in your hands. All right, let's see. A couple of thoughts over here. Wendy got disconnected. Wendy, it's because you were playing poorly. That's what happens. YouTube says, yeah, you're not playing well enough, and they kick you out, and then you come back in. It's like losing a life when you're playing video games. You die, and then you come back. Just kidding. Let's see. Carrie, lovely Carrie, Jerry, you bought a new ukulele. You got to be on time, dude. Mike. Oh, we got a nice chat. Somebody, is that Korean, Japanese? I don't know. I don't know what those little symbols are. I'm super excited you're here. Glad you're here. I don't understand the numbers on the bottom. I have strummed and played notes. Where can I go to learn this? So the numbers on the bottom of the tablature, you got to go back to Frere Jacques. Just go back into the archives on Jolly Roger Ukulele. Go back about 2 weeks, look for the one that says Frere Jacques on it, and then watch all those videos in order, and you will find out what those numbers are about. Or in 2 weeks ish, we'll start the whole process over again. That's the tablature. And if you're walking in today and you don't know what that is, that's a lot, right? And so we're going to give you a chance to just play here in just a second. But yeah, that's really what we're doing, is getting you comfortable reading tab so you can play this instrumentally instead of singing and strumming it. And tabs is much faster than teaching you standard notation. So that's what's going on there, Kim. Alex, led by new backdrop. I know I look like a ukulele player, don't I? Let's see. Kari made it in. Wendy. Wendy's in. Heck yeah. Cindy, Louise, happy Monday, Louise. And all right, here we go. By the way, Cindy has a new Kamaka that she's probably playing on right now. Here's what you should do. You should get $3,000 together and go buy a Kamaka. That's what you should do. But you're not. But no, otherwise, play your $50 ukulele. It's fine. This one was $80. Okay. All right, Danny Boy, let's talk about, we're going to take a trip to Ireland this week. I got 3 posted already. I got Danny Boy, Last Rose of Summer, and The Minstrel Boy. All 3 of those are huge Irish traditional songs. Everybody from Ireland knows them. And I'm going to add in Molly Malone and Whiskey in the Jar. A lot of you guys have done Whiskey in the Jar at your ukulele sing-alongs. They're okay. It's an okay song. And so I just want you to have a real version of it. Yeah, everybody's all like, Whiskey in the Jar. And you're just like, God, it's always, the Xerox is such a mess all the time. I want you get, and then you can take it to your strum along and have a legit one. And so I'll put that one together. And then I got to work on those. Hopefully this afternoon I'll be able to type those up. Here's what you should know about Danny Boy. Okay, here's the honest to God truth. I'm about to talk smack about your ukulele, so get your game face on, get your toughness in. I know we like this to believe this is the perfect instrument, that everything is great about this, that the fact that we own one puts us on a level of coolness that other people only can aspire to. Here's the thing about this instrument. Sometimes, once in a while, a song really doesn't fit on it. Okay. And Danny Boy is one of those songs that really doesn't fit on this instrument. This instrument's not quite, God, doesn't quite have enough notes on it to really pull this off. Forever, I've been working on a Putting on the Ritz, that jazz song, Putting on the Ritz. It doesn't fit on this either. And it just makes me mental because I love that song, right? So, and Danny Boy is one of those that every time I hear it, I must have some Irish in me. I think I do. I look like I have Irish in me. I think every time I hear this, a little tear, like, oh, that's sad, right? And the way you play it today, a little tear is going to come to my eye also for different reasons. And the idea that this song is something I really, really love on an emotional level. I really want it to be awesome on ukulele, and it doesn't quite fit. So I've got it on here, and this is the only key that it kind of fits on, and is pretty close. But here's the thing, and don't listen to this if you don't have a low G. I'm not trying to encourage you to buy a low G ukulele. I absolutely think that they're a mixed blessing. They are it takes all of the ukulele-ness out of it by putting on a low G string. I don't like you to do that unless you really need to have a low G ukulele. If you own a low G ukulele, I do have Danny Boy in D, and it does fit a little bit better because you have those 4 extra notes here that we don't have on high G ukulele. So you could send me an email and say, "Hey, I got a low G. I want to try the one that's in the key of D." And it just the problem with it in the key of D, which is the key it would have been originally written in probably. It just goes too low for a high G ukulele, and so you need those extra notes. So if you have a low G ukulele and you want to send me an email to get that one, you can. Now, having said that, I don't like low G as your main axe because I think it's like a little bitty guitar rather than a ukulele. But that's that again, I share with you my opinions, right? You can buy into them or not. The high G ukulele sounds just lovely. The only problem is in the key of F, and you know what happens when we do key of F? You get a B flat. So here's your main chord. Dun, da, 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 da. Everything's gonna be so great. And your very next chord is B flat, which you hate with all of your heart and soul. Okay. So what we want to do um, is talk about B flat very quickly. All over the internet, there's lots of discussion about how you avoid B flat. You don't avoid B flat, people. You just learn to do it. Okay. So index finger, I like you to do a full bar. You don't have to. I'll show you that in just a second. I like for you to do a full bar. I like you to press down on that bar, and then I like you to roll it back just a little bit. So I usually set it almost on top of the fret wire, push it down, and roll it back just a little bit. That kind of tightens the skin up underneath there. Okay, and you get that. Now, when you're new, this is the sound you get. Let me see if I can do it the way you guys do it. Okay, that's your B flat. Okay, that's okay. Just let it be that one day. Comes in. Okay. Once you get your full bar on, now you have to put an A shape in front of it. So this is A shape, right? This is how we normally make an A, but in this case, we're going to have to use middle and ring finger, slide it up, and then your bar is there. Okay. So that's a B flat. Okay. That's the full thing. Okay. In the beginning, it sounds okay. And believe me, I've had probably the most I guess I'd call her the second most knowledgeable student that I've ever taught. Brilliant, right? Really, really knew it. Came to me and she goes, "I can't do B flat." And I'm like, "I know you can't do B flat. It's new," right? And it was making her mental because she knows music. She really knows what she's doing. Just couldn't get her fingers to cooperate. They were cooperating perfectly fine. It's just it didn't sound great, right? And it's because you need to develop this muscle that's sitting between right here. This muscle right here is the one you're working on right now. Bar chords are the best way to build that up. That and rock climbing, but don't go rock climbing because it's outside, which is gross, and two, it hurts. And so just play your ukulele and it's better. Okay, so that's your B flat. Okay? I like for you to use a full bar. Those of you who are new to or those of you who are around a while, you're like, why does he always teach a full bar when this works? Okay. And so this is what most ukulele players do. Use the index finger, cover two, middle finger, ring finger. Okay. That's what most ukulele players will play a B flat, including me. Right. When I see a B flat, I usually grab this one. But the reason I like you to do a full bar is because then you can do this one. And you can do this one. Right. And this one. Okay, so you can do all the other bar chords without having to make any adjustment to your bar. And what I think if you just talk yourself into using a full bar now, it'll make it so much easier down the road when you have to do all the other bar chords. And this summer, just a little bit of an advertisement, June 1st, 7 p.m. Here on these same stations, we're going to start Summer Institute, and it'll be 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So for some of you, that's great, and for some of you, that's horrible. But we're going to keep that up, and it'll be Monday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll do the we'll call it International Summer Institute this year. That's where we'll get into that, that stuff you never talk about as a ukulele player, like circle of fifths and bar chord patterns and all this kind of, just stuff that you ought to know, but you don't have to know. And so, and then composing music and all this stuff. We have a great time in the summer. All right, so now the other chord on this song is that one, C7. You're fine. Okay, so if we were going to a strum along, we would sing and strum this. Let's do that. So those of you who've been around, those of you who are new, know that I'm about to sing. It is not good. Okay, I'm aware of my ability to sing, especially when we get to measure 13 and I'm supposed to go to the high A. It ain't gonna happen. Okay, so just know I know that I'm a terrible singer, but I want you to make sure you've got your chords in shape. Okay, so get your chords ready. One. Oh, there's a 1 beat counting. 1. And here's your first note. Oh, 1. Kathy taught me that. Oh, here we go. 1. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. Oh, I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. 3, 4. Okay, so that's the song. Okay, and I forgot we had a D minor in there. Shows up in measure 10. You're holding an F. Remember with D minor, when you're holding your F, you just add your ring finger. That's a D minor. Okay, all right. So that snuck up on me. I apologize for forgetting that. Now, you could hear from my singing that I should be an instrumental player, and let's go down to the next idea. If you are a chord player and you're learning your tablature, this is a great song to work on because it's going to start, it's going to go clear down to this 2, and it's going to go clear up to that 12. Okay, that's how far of a span this song has. Dum, bing. Okay, that's how far we have to go on this song to get it to the melody in. Let's give it a try. Those of you at home that are new probably strum the chords. If you haven't gone through the tab playing and don't know what that is, just strum the chords as I play along with the melody. We'll play a duet together. We will sound amazing. If you have been around a while and you're a tab reader, absolutely, you should be playing with me. Okay, from the top, I'm going to count 1, and then we're going to go. And 1. Oh, 3, oh, 5, 3, oh, 3, 1, 2, 1, oh, 1, 3, 5, 3, oh, 1, oh, 3, oh, 1, 3, oh, 3, oh, 5, 3, oh, 3, 1, 2, oh, 1, 3, oh, 1, oh, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 7, 7, 5, 3, 5, 3, oh, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 7, 7, 5, 3, oh, 3, 3, 3, 3, 12, 10, 10, 8, 5, 8, 3, oh, 1, oh, 1, 3, oh, 5, 3, oh, 3, 1, 2, oh, 1. How'd we do? I hit it pretty close, right? Of course, you are supposed to then at the end of 16 turn around, hit that repeat, and go all the way back up to measure 1 and play the song a second time. Okay, because the first time everybody knows the first verse. Not everybody necessarily knows the second verse, but you should because this is a great song. And that's how we go to Ireland, right? When you're in Ireland, they check at the passport. Do you know all the words to Danny Boy? And then they let you in. It's how they work it. And what you want to do is just get so comfortable doing that repeat that you've got the whole thing memorized and it's beautiful. Couple of thoughts. Measure 16, I love you so. And then I want that to draw a little bit longer than we typically would. So I went ahead and made the next three notes, which if you didn't put it as a triplet, you'd have to go, I love you so, but if you. And so I don't like that. I want to let that note ring a little bit longer. So I took those last three notes and made them a triplet. And the way you would count that is I love you so, three King Kong dum. Okay. So that but if you just hold it, wait a little bit longer before you start them, and then squish them in and play them a tiny bit faster. And it gives you some energy to go up and play that thing a second time. And again, if you are learning tablature and you're wanting and you got to just practice playing that single line melody, we cannot emphasize enough how important it is that you can do that. Then when you invite a friend over who owns a ukulele, you play the melody, they play the chords, you sound great, you have a great time. And that's, you might notice they were talking, or you guys have it over here, when they were talking about having a bottle of beer or whatever you guys were talking about over here, then that's what you do, right? And that way you don't need to have a whole ukulele get together. You just need you and a friend. Somebody plays chords, somebody plays melody, and you are in tall cotton. It's a great way to get rid of that need to go and hang out with hundreds of other ukulele players. Because frankly, when you hang out with 100 ukulele players, everybody's so awesome. It's hard to say hi and have fun with everybody, right? And so you walk out going, "Gosh, I didn't get a chance to talk to so and so and so and so and so and so." So just find one friend, and that's all you need. All right. Let me make sure that I haven't missed anything going on over here. Black Velvet Band. Whiskey in a jar is probably more fun if you're drinking. That's who was talking. Fran's our drinker over here. Lindy, I've been playing through this and I like the yeah, the chords sound off, but the melody and the tough uke sound fine. Bob always tells me all of my arrangements sound off. I don't know. He grew up on the East Coast, and I think that he had a different uh, music teacher, and so he's always telling me things are off, and I'm like, no, they're not. So you know that you will, when you are doing folk music and you learn your way of doing it, and somebody else has learned their way of doing it. Sometimes they don't line up at all, and that will happen. Even in your own hometown, where somebody will learn it one way and you've learned it another way, and then you don't want to get in a fight. You just agree on, hey, this is the piece of paper we're going to use. So let's see, Joyce. Okay, hi Joyce, glad to see you. I had a question about retardando and ritenuto, so I was hoping you were here. Could we play this a little bit slower? Absolutely, absolutely. But by the way, when we play the tough uke, we'll slow it down a lot. Let's play it one more time, okay? Just the melody. We'll just play it one time through melody, and then you guys grab the chords, okay? One. Oh, I counted. Well, I just counted one, and then we'll go. By the way, when I took my conducting workshop, one of the big things was you just give one beat count-ins for orchestras. One, right? And that's again they come in, and I like to do with my organ. 1, 2, 3, 4, go, right? Give them a little bit more a chance. But on this one, you only have one beat to get it right, so you feel like you're a professional orchestra. Here we go. 1, oh 1 3 oh 3 oh 5 3 oh 3 1 2 1 oh 1 3 5 3 oh 1 oh 3 oh 1 3 oh 3 oh 5 3 oh 3 1 2 oh 1 3 oh 1 oh 3 1 3 1 3 5 7 8 7 7 5 3 5 3 oh 1 3 5 7 8 7 7 5 3 oh 3 3 3 3 12 10 10 8 5 1, 3, and then you go back to the top and play it a second time through. The second time through, skip measure 16 and go directly to 17. All right, that's a little slower. Got a chance to play through it a couple of times. Let's get on to the good stuff. We only have a few minutes, and this is why you log into this broadcast, right? We're gonna do the tough uke. We're gonna do the whole thing twice. Okay, those of you guys have been around a while, you know what you're doing. Should make perfect sense. And there's nothing here that you haven't seen before over the last couple of weeks. And those of you who are tough ukers, you're gonna be fine. Okay. When we got to that 12, I was like, I'm just gonna play straight melody through that. It's too hard to get a chord in there. All right. From the top, we're gonna play it through twice, nice and slow. 1. Oh, 1, 3. Measure 4. We're measure 8. Ready to turn the page? We're going to go back and do it again. Notice I don't let this up until the ukulele is done doing its job. My $70 ukulele job, it's pretty much $70 ukulele. It's pretty much done the minute I hit that last chord, but I still hold on to that, making sure all of the sound rings out. So there we go. That's Danny Boy. I think it's a pretty nice arrangement. The 12 is a bit of a bummer, right? You have to bing, but that's in order to fit it on the ukulele. That's what you got. Let me look at double check the questions. Tanya, when you get to measure 2, how do you play it? Having trouble getting the Oh yeah, so that's that B flat, right? That's the B flat. And when I played it, I went ahead and did this shape, this G7 shape on the wrong strings. That's what I've been doing. But what you could do, absolutely, at measure two, go ahead and grab your B flat. You don't need to hold down this first string. Just one, two, three, and then add your pinky. So that's your three. Okay, so grab your. So basically, you're grabbing a B flat, but you don't need to cover the first string. So it's just one, two, three, and then add your pinky there on that three, and that's causes the least amount of work there. So that's a great question, Tanya. Thank you for that. Let's see. Other questions. I love the 12. You love the 12. Yeah, the 12 rocks, right? Let's see. So that I answered Tanya's question. Joyce, lovely. Thank you for that, Irish. We're going to have a great week all week, you guys. Go practice this song and then ask me questions again tomorrow when you show up. And if anything, and always send me an email. I try to keep up on emails. I'm not that great at it, but I try. Let's see. Beautiful rain, very doable. Thanks again, Gary. My husband just gave me a big. Hey, we got it. Renee's husband is killing it. Is our audience, so that was good. Hey, thanks, Renee. That's good to hear. Vicky, nice as usual. Have a wonderful night. Nice arrangement. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for keeping me legit, Bob. I appreciate it. Kathy, awesome. Hardest in the world to sing. Oh yeah, it's impossible to sing. That's why we have to play it instrumentally. Good point, Kathy. It is a super hard song to sing. Julianne, have a wonderful day, Julianne. Kat, go off and take on your afternoon. Gail, good to see you. Thanks for being. Mike, uh, sorry you missed the tour. Go back and listen to the replay, and you can hear it. Jane, glad you're here, Jane. Elizabeth, have a wonderful day. I like it on low G. Yeah, yeah. Or send me an email. I'll send it to you in the key of D. Minute, be good. Harmonious Jane, glad you joined us today. So thank you for being here. Cindy, have a wonderful day. Linda, it'll start June 1st. Summer Institute starts June 1st. Hey, by the way, we are in the European time zone. By doing 1 o'clock in America, it's about 7 or 8 or 9 over in Europe. Send an email to your European friends and say, hey, this dude's teaching ukulele. He seems to know what he's talking about. Have them log in. Uh, Luis, have a wonderful. We love the Irish music, don't we? Alex, glad that time changer is working out for you. Sandy, I'm going to send you an email today. Jackie, have a wonderful day. Violet, keep that Chicago spirit alive. Laurel, talk to you soon. Fran, go finish your lunch and well, you should be done with lunch, right? Have a great day out there. Annie, good to see you. Cindy, how'd that ukulele work out? Pauline, good to see you. Have a wonderful night. Glinda, oh thanks, Glinda. Terry, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, Terry. Lynn, good to see you. Leslie, hey, thanks, Leslie. Appreciate it. Hey, thanks for being here. Barbara, have a wonderful night. Red, dun, 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 dun. I don't know what that thing is. Oh, I should do it in India week, right? We'll do a little Hindi music. That'd be fun. Lanny, be good. Carol, I'll see you soon. Time Irish comedy. Carol knows how to do this world. 380 people from attending. 380 people attending from all over. Love it. Yeah, right. Heck yeah, man. We're killing it. Kamaka rocks. Kamaka rocks. Go Kamaka. I'm gonna end the stream. I gotta go teach a guitar class. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks.